What's good, people? It's Coop. This is Hip Hop Talks. Make sure you click like, share, subscribe to our page. First thing I'd like everybody to do is continue to send your thoughts and prayers with Sean and his family while he's on hiatus. He will be back with us. We've been talking with Sean this week. Everything is good. He wants to thank all of you all for showing your love, sending your thoughts and your prayers. For those of you who like loyally and faithfully follow us, AG's son and my daughter are both about to graduate from high school, and so AG has some family activities that he has to tend to as well. And so I'm not solo. We got somebody pulling up shortly. But I'm gonna go ahead and kick things off. We got a little NFL draft going on. I guess the surprise so far, Andrew and I were just talking behind the scenes, and it seems like Jacksonville has moved up to number 2 to get Travis Hunter. And so I think that's a fascinating move. I think they're in like a weak division and he's an impact player. So he could actually improve that team with a couple of wins. And they actually need help. I mean, they need help everywhere. I mean, they might need help at quarterback too. That might be their biggest problem. So they might not have their problem totally solved yet. But we got some things going on here today. We're going to run down some ATL talk. I'm sure everybody's fascinated to hear my take on ATL's Mount Rushmore. It seems like the Mount Rushmore thing has started to become more of a thing lately. Again, I guess we're not doing lists anymore. We're doing Mount Rushmores again. Yeah, Jack, what up, Jack? Yeah, everybody, shout out to everybody that's showing love to Sean. He appreciates it. He's been watching the show. He's been behind the scenes. Everybody's been checking in with him. Peace and love to his family. Continue to keep him in your thoughts and your prayers, everybody. AG hit me up today. He told me blessings and to have a great show. Really excited for my co-host and special guest that we're about to have on soon. I'm going to kick it off with a little NBA playoffs. NBA playoffs have been going on. I know currently right behind me on the TV is the Knicks and the Pistons right now. The Pistons look like they're about to give the Knicks a fight for their life. A lot of people thought that the Knicks might win this series in 7 games, but they're in some legitimate trouble. They were just up 13, and the Pistons came back. Yeah, I miss Sean too, Jack. He's going to be back soon. Try Yeah, Trife is wild. AG is not in the El Salvador detention center. That'll be me in a couple months when I go to Colombia if I really get a chance to show my ass. But the NBA playoffs are going on. I think the sleeper team actually. I don't know if there's been a number 1 seed like the Cavs that nobody's like literally been talking about. It's like the NBA playoffs have been going on for almost a week now, and the team that nobody's talking about is actually the number 1 seed in the East. They've actually been dismantling like a pretty good team. They haven't been like blowing out. I don't think Memphis should have made the playoffs. I don't know what's happened to John Morant. I don't think he's just he looked like a young Westbrook or Derrick Rose or Iverson, and it seems like some of the injuries have mounted up. I don't know if he still has been injured this year. It just feels like he's lost a little spring in his step. Feels like he's lost his step a little bit, and so I'm not really too impressed by OKC beating Memphis the way they are. But I am impressed with the Cavaliers, and I think they have an excellent chance to make it to the finals. Yeah, 88 Spence. I was about to get to that. I think the news that everybody's wanting to know right now is did they say how long Jimmy Butler is down? Like, did they say how long he was going to be out? Because I think if he's out 2 games, what you mean poets and rhymers don't go to Columbia? My homie Obi's in Columbia. I got people in Columbia, like real people in Columbia. Not South Carolina, too. I mean, I got people there, too. No, I don't know if T Wolves are taking care of the Lakers. We're going to get to that in a second. I actually want to get to the Clippers. Are the Clippers a contender to win the NBA championship if Kawhi is still healthy? Like if he stays healthy, is a healthy Kawhi Leonard and a healthy James Harden? Like is James Harden going to like deliver, or does he even have to deliver in the clutch? And does he actually get to play Robin to Kawhi's Batman? And can they actually like win the West with that duo? Because if they win that series and then they go up against OKC, do you think that they have Gucci over Jeezy is a tragedy? Errol Holmes, I don't know if it's a tragedy. I don't know if either one of those guys is totally going to make the Mount Rushmore. I'm not sure if either one of those guys has enough credentials. I think we might be underrating like the status, like how many great rappers have come through Atlanta at this point. Esquire says it's too early to tell with the Clippers. I don't know if it's too early to tell. I mean, I'm not the biggest Kawhi fan, but it's like if Kawhi is standing up straight and balling, I mean, this was a guy that for the time that he was healthy and playing at least 60 to 65 games, he did make all NBA first team over Kevin Durant on a couple of occasions, which I didn't necessarily agree with, but he did. And he was looked at somebody that rivaled LeBron James and Kevin Durant as like best player in the NBA. And so I think if he plays at that Kawhi level, he's just as impactful of those players when he's healthy. His problem is that he hasn't been healthy. And so I actually think that they are a contender. I think the problem is that can you count on James Harden? And I think James Harden in a secondary role is maybe somebody that you can count on more. But then again, when he was the third option in OKC, he wasn't that dependable, but he was also a much younger version of himself. What we who we got in the chat? How many people we got going in the chat? Still waiting for my special guest to pull up. Andrew, what's the word? We got anything going on? Yeah, Matt Max, I'm always going to give Kawhi his props.
Yeah.
Yeah, what up, man? Everybody, we got Low Key with us tonight. Low trying to come through the feed. I think he's at his hookah spot. While Low trying to come through, we're gonna wrap up this NBA chat. I think the Lakers and T Wolves. I think we're gonna see if LeBron's age and attrition is actually gonna start to show. I mean, we've never seen somebody play this great this late, but the playoffs tend to be a testament of the endurance and the stamina. And so I think that I think Ant obviously like Ant is probably one of the few players that can actually like cancel out a Luka. And so I think this series in a different way is kind of on LeBron for the first time. Kawhi is not the best NBA two-way wing since Jordan. That is ridiculous. It's absurd. Because he's not even better than Scotty. I would take Scotty over Kawhi on offense and in defense. And Scotty has 6 rings. Yeah, Ant may need to play smart, but off talent alone, like Ant's one of those guys that just like, people forget that like Mike for the first 2-3 years, like just like scored like 35, 37, 28, like off athleticism. It's not like he had like this stellar jump shot yet. He hadn't perfected that fadeaway. His mid range game wasn't as consistent as it was what was after. What's going on with Low? Can Low hear us? Is Low there? Andrew, what up? Shoot me a message. Let me know. What up, Mama Bear? Shout out. Lakers taking the Wolves down in 6. You think Esquire? Look here. I don't know about the Lakers. It ain't about to be no Lakers in 5. We about to talk about Mr. Lakers in 5 in a second anyway. Because I don't know if he done cracked his cranium, get out of the situation. He might need some vibranium. Prosecutor in 5. Yeah. AG up in the chat. What up, AG? We're trying to wait for Low so we can get started. Low, can you hear us? Can you see us? Can we hear see Low as he froze? Yeah, he jumping out. I think Low had to jump out. I think he's about to jump back in. I don't know if he's done yet. I'm gonna wait for Low to try to wait to see what Low got to say about it. Because I mean, this has all happened in the last 6 hours. I know. Not he's frozen like Elsa. I know that he's not planning on coming back to ESPN until August, is what they said. That's what they said. He's not coming back to ESPN until August. I don't know. It's not looking good for good for Unc. First of all, I didn't realize how old Unc was. Technically, Unc is not Unc anymore. Technically, Unc is OG. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Technically, Unc is OG. Trife's wild. Hookah Spot changed the Wi-Fi password. Yo, it's Lowe's Hookah Spot, Trife. I think if he would have changed the Wi-Fi password, he would have been the one to change it. It's wild. Yeah. I don't know. I think it raises a lot of questions. I think OG Shay. I think we need to stop calling him Unc. OG Shay. OG Shay is he's in a very peculiar spot because I think about it from the perspective of this is actually somebody that was drafted by the NFL before free agency for players even existed. And so he never capitalized financially on the NFL level that was probably reflective of his Hall of Fame talents. And now he is. Now he's making like quarterback, top wide receiver, defensive end money for popping his rocks off on ESPN and his podcast and YouTube like everybody else, including us. But I think is there a colorism going on? Like if this was a 20-year-old black woman, would we be taking issue with him as much? Is it the fact that she's 20 years old? Because I mean, here's the thing: we tell society that it's legal and that we can do what we want, and then when people cross certain boundaries that really aren't legally written in stone, we tell ourselves that we're offended. And so, I don't. I think it's too soon. Choking a teeny bunny hop is wild. That is wild. I don't think it's. I think it's too soon for us to just assume that you know he's guilty of this. We don't really know the information. I know he's been very transparent thus far, but I know that it is very problematic that he would, move with this level of indiscretion with a woman this young. I kind of got some rules. I try not to date anybody that's younger than my youngest sister because I feel like there's a generation gap. Because my sister sometimes calls me and asks me to like explain, shit like on some old people shit. And so like when it be on that kind of time, I think it's just a little bit harder for us to get it together. Andrew, see if we can get Low back up in here so we can get rolling with the show. But yeah, I mean, we're gonna see what happens and what this unfolds, and what if this goes past August? Does this like affect his contract with ESPN? How does this affect his notoriety? What endorsement deals does he have, or are the endorsers going to start backing out until this comes to fruition? So there's a lot at play. Low, okay,
Yo, y'all can hear me?
yeah, I can hear you.
All right. You don't hear nothing in the background, right?
No, I can hear the music in the background.
But it's good.
It's a little loud, a little bit.
You want me to go outside?
It'd be easier, yeah, because it's pretty
All right.
loud.
All right, I'll go outside. All right, I'm here though. What we talking about? What we talking about?
Well, we talking about Shannon right now.
Talking about Shannon?
Yeah.
Yeah. So you know what that happened? You know what that is?
No, no, no. Tell me what it is. No, I don't know what it is.
I mean, all right. So from my understanding, from what I've seen and what I've read, if you offer somebody 10 million, there's something to be discovered. There's something to be uncovered, and the way he presented it, you know, the video acknowledgement from first off when he just like, oh, from the nightscape background, my family, this and the third, whatever the case is. All right, PR probably should have handled that. And then today, what do we get? We get the text message that should have been a PR statement, not a copy and paste. But also, he's 54 years old. What? How old? He's 54.
I might be older than that. I thought they said he was approaching 60. I thought they said 57.
Whatever the case is, bro. 19, 20. Come on, bro. Come on, bro. $100 million
You
deal. $100 million deal just announced days before this shit happened. It's almost like this nigga was trying to buy CBS. Nigga was trying to buy NBC.
he wasn't he wasn't getting too much money out here in public, was he?
But 100 million,
I
a
mean,
hundred, a hundred. Not saying that's what he was getting, or whatever
right.
the case was. We're not counting his pockets, but we understood that there was a negotiation of like 100 million on the table. So whatever between him and I guess Gabby is Jane Doe. That's her name. You knew that was coming. Like this is clockwork. This is not random. This is clockwork. And even on Club Shay Shay, what did Monique tell him? Get your ass a fucking old ass lady, an old ass woman, and ride off to the sunset. She's 19, 20, OnlyFans, da da da, whatever the case is. I ain't listen. I'm not about to sit here and
Do, do you
chastise and go ahead, my
do,
fault, go ahead.
do you think that he is like, I was just saying this before you pulled up. He came along and got drafted in a time where free agency didn't even exist yet. So he never made the type of paper that he's making now.
That don't matter. That don't matter. We in an age of like social media. That nigga caught his stride in the prime of social media, where they find everything, they know everything, they can find your old ways, they can find the bullshit you did at your previous work environment. I even saw a story came out today that he had choked somebody out at Fox or I think at FS1 or
Yeah,
whatever. I saw that.
yeah.
So you think that's not those stories are gonna stop? Look what happened with
Mm.
Puff. Once that one story came out, another story, another story, another story.
So is he coming back in August? Do you think it's a wrap?
Well, he said
Because that's
from a
only a
state.
few months away. It's not like it's January. It's the end
I
of
mean, bro,
April.
we're in April. You talking about you staying off the whole summer till August? That don't sound like some shit I want to do. Like, yo, I'm just gonna chill till August. If
Right.
I did something, if I'm bugging, I'm like, yo, I'm not taking, take a month off, take 2 months off. I'll be back in June, maybe July. You saying you done for the whole summer?
Do you believe that do you believe that she was planted? Like, do you believe that this was intentional? Do you believe it goes that deep?
I don't know if it was intentional. I don't know if it was planted. Again, I don't have any information. I don't have any info. I'm not deep in the sports world. I'm not deep in information that could, you know, incriminate. So I don't know. But from 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 time and what we've seen, these stories come and we see the regular train that comes after them. And somebody said on Twitter earlier today, it was like, all right, yeah, he's gonna pull out his own statement. Y'all gonna take some time off for 7:30. Then we might see something come from Disney or ESPN. We're parting ways or whatever the case is. We might
Feel
see
like
that,
that's coming. Yeah.
and a lot of people feel like that might happen.
Yeah.
He might be getting ahead of the training and be like, yo, you know what? I'm gonna take the time off. And
Oh,
someone was like, yo, that wasn't him that said that. That wasn't him that made that decision.
no way.
That wasn't him that said, I'm gonna take the time off. That was Disney
No way.
saying, hey, you gotta sit down.
Right. We can't
And
have
the
you on
only
this family network with this going on.
nigga, what?
Yeah.
What, 3 months? You gotta sit down for 3 months?
It's a lot of money.
That's a lot of money. But the only reason why I look at it in a different light because of Tony Busby, because when Tony Busby did the whole shit with Hov, and Hov was on his ass, he was like, nah, none of this shit is true. And you lied, and you wasn't registered in New York. You wasn't none of that shit. So we gotta kind of like put a light on that too. It's like, hey, hold on. But he's not playing the long game the way he's supposed
You,
to. That's all.
here's is it over for him though? Like, let's
No,
say
no, it's not over. It's not over
okay,
for him. He just got to sit down.
you just gotta sit down.
He just got to sit down. It ain't over for him because we haven't seen no physical evidence. All we've seen is text messages, which
Mm.
can be made up and massaged. We've seen that happen.
I, you, I'll tell you like this, and then we can
Yeah,
kind of slide to something you do know, which is some more music related stuff.
of course, of course.
Usually, if she's Albanian, uh, Romanian,
See, hold on,
Ukrainian,
hold on.
prosecuted in five,
I ain't trying. Hold on.
prosecuted in five.
Hold on. Don't.
Yeah,
I ain't trying to
yeah,
get into this race shit.
yeah.
Cause
Yeah,
you
yeah.
ain't about to put me into this race shit because I ain't trying to. Yo, Lo said this about Albanians, and Lo said this about.
No, no, no.
No.
I'm saying it.
No, I'm not saying you are. I'm just saying, you know how people take clips? Well, Los from
Right.
Apple Music said this, that, and I'm just saying what I see. I'm saying perception. I'm saying presentation. All I'm saying. Just how everybody else is saying, everybody else is commenting. I don't know till I know.
I mean, okay, so how about this? It's like a
Yeah.
37-year-old can trap Aunt Edwards, and she's a thirst trapping baby mama because she's a black woman. You know what I'm saying? It's like
What's her track record though? What's her track record?
she's not an OnlyFans model, is she?
Who she got a baby with prior to Anthony Edwards? What's her track
Yeah.
record? What's her track record? I'm not saying she's wrong. You know, you live your life how you live your life. But what's her track record?
Say less.
I'm just, yo, cool. I'm just asking the
You
question
just
that
asking questions. You just
I'm just
asking
asking
questions.
questions. I'm not
You just asking
accusing. I'm
questions.
not alleging. What are we? What's her?
You
What's her
wanna
track
you,
record?
you wanna know what's crazy? Like real talk, low. I
Yeah.
had somebody close to me tell me, she has a homegirl who's famous on, Instagram, social media, all that,
Yeah, yeah, of course.
and then been plugged to some major players in Atlanta and got some kids with some major players in Atlanta. And literally it's so and this is her cousin telling me, like, this is just the other day, like literally the other day. When the
That's
money
normal to
leave,
them. That's
when the
normal to
money
them.
leave, yeah. When the money
That's
leave, I
normal.
leave. Yeah. This is the motion.
That's
Yeah.
normal. That's what they do. And like, listen, you get it how you live, but also you,
Right.
like Pac said it, you die by the gun. You live by the gun. You die by the gun.
Yeah.
And it's crazy.
All
I'm
right.
quoting Pac. It's crazy. I'm quoting Pac based off of all the shit that happened the last couple of days. But we'll get to that.
No, no, that's very apropos actually. We're gonna slide into something that I've actually been wanting to talk about with somebody that might have a better pulse on it than me down here in Atlanta, and that is Summer Jam. Low, is Summer Jam
Ooh.
over?
No, I don't believe Summer Jam is over. I believe that my thing with Summer Jam is, I came up in the '90s, and I went to numerous amounts of Summer Jams, and my sister is 4 years older than me, and she came up through, early Hove, Big, Locks, Wu-Tang, DMX, Snoop, all that. You know what I mean? So Summer Jam is always going to hold a special place in my heart, but during those times, New York was the mecca of hip hop. You had to stop at Summer Jam. You had to stop at Hot 97. I mean, you had to stop here because New York is a mecca of entertainment,
Mm-hmm.
whether it's music, film, sport, whatever the case is.
Boxing. You're right. Right.
Yeah, sport, whatever it is, politics, whatever the case is. Um, I think festivals are the thing that everybody loves and everybody clamors to, and this, that, and the third. I think the kids or the younger generation don't understand how much Summer Jam means to us, or me, or you, or
Whose fault is that? Whose fault is that?
it can rely on both parties. It can rely on the distributor from the Hot 97s. It can rely on the fans. But things move. Things move quickly. Things move fast. But that's why the legacy acts and those legacy concerts are so bigger, so better now because, like, look at Jesus. He's doing TM 101,
Mm-hmm.
20th anniversary. He's
Mm-hmm.
doing two New York dates, June 28th and September 7th. I'm going to both, right? But Summer Jam was for, you know, the young niggas, or whatever the case of those times, whatever the case is. They're niggas that love A Boogie. They're niggas that love Glorilla. Every Summer Jam has had niggas out of town and niggas that were making noise around the country. That's what Summer Jam was. I don't think Summer Jam is as popular as it used to be. We can all say
Do
that.
you
We can all
do
we
you
can all agree to that.
do you think that the decline in the popularity correlates to the decline in the radio popularity?
Break that question down a little bit better so I can answer it a little bit better.
Okay, so it's like, well, people don't rely on radio as much for their music anymore, obviously. there's Apple Music, there's Spotify, there's YouTube Music. There's so many access ways to
Tidal, it's
access.
Google, it's all those things.
Yeah. And so that doesn't that affect the market and promotion of it? It's like, well, how many people are listening to the radio that actually know when Summer Jam is going on and know who's performing and know how viable it is? Doesn't
But you gotta understand this. They're the people that aren't like us, right? That live on streams, that live on podcasts, that live on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, right? There are people that go to work at 4, 5, 6 in the morning, that listen to the Breakfast Club, that listen to Ebro in the morning, and that's where they get their news. That's where they get, oh, somebody's in town, somebody's throwing a concert, oh, Summer Jam. There are people that love, oh shit, Summer Jam is happening. We all know, anybody in the tri-state area knows when June comes around or when like March, April, May, we know Summer Jam's about to get in, right? Niggas that live in Atlanta, they know birthday bash. That's about to get in. You know what I'm saying? Like those
yeah.
cities and those things, they know when those things are about to happen. I think those attractions are diminishing a little bit because artists are taking their own entities and not relying on the radio stations or not relying on the big corporations or not relying on the things that they used to rely on in the 90s. They're not relying on those things. They're doing their own thing. You know what I'm saying? So it's like Summer
So
Jam to me
what's
means a lot.
so
Summer
what's
Jam is
the
always going to
remedy?
mean a lot.
What's the
Hmm?
remedy?
It's preference. It's no remedy. It's preference. It's preference. I'm 43. I'm still going to Summer Jam.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm
So
still going to Summer Jam.
I'm 43 too, but it's like, who you
Right.
going to Summer Jam to see, and why are you
I
going?
mean,
Like, like,
they got the Ja Rule. They got the Murder Inc.
yeah,
dedication.
the Irv for Irv.
Yeah. They're
But,
still going to do the old school set. I want to
no,
see
no,
Glorilla.
I mean below on a
Yeah.
regular year,
Keep it a
like,
buck.
yeah, like low. I mean, like you're pulling up because it's like, well, you're low, so it's like, are you pulling up because you really loving to pull up at this point, or are you pulling up because you're low and it's like, it's a good look and
No,
you need to be pulling up?
I'm pulling up because I'm still a fan. I want to see what Ja Rule's going to do
Okay.
when it's Ja Rule's and friends.
No, I'm asking.
I still want to see Glorilla. I love Glorilla.
I love Glow too. You know what I'm
All
saying? But it's
right.
like,
So what? I can't enjoy both.
no. I'm not. I'm not. I'm kind of asking. It's like, well, do you separate church and state? It's like, is you doing it because you low, or are you doing it because you really love these artists and you love the new shit and
Both.
you love Summer
Both.
Jam? Okay,
I'm doing it because I have a responsibility to record, commentate,
right,
critique, whatever. I'm doing it, but then I'm also doing it because I love Summer Jam. When my sister was going, me and my sister are 4 years apart. So when my sister was going to Summer Jam, I couldn't go because I was young. So I begged, I begged, I begged. I want to go, I want to go, I want to go. So when I finally got the ability to go and the traction to go and the access to go, I went, and I
right.
still love it. So I'm gonna still have that same empathy and I'm gonna have that still same excitement. It may not be the same back when it was like 96, 97, 98, 99, whatever the case is, but Summer Jam still means a lot to me. It's like somebody in Atlanta, birthday bash means a lot to them.
Yeah,
In LA, 92.3 or Big Boy when they do
Big
their
Boy's
shit.
neighborhood.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
that their neighbor, Big Boy's neighborhood, it means a lot to them.
it does.
You know what I'm saying? So like that'll never leave, but that's just what it is. But to your initial question, has Summer Jam lost its flair? Yeah, it has. But
Yeah.
anybody with 2 ears and 2 eyes they can see that. But a lot of shows like that have lost it.
So you're saying that's just something that's just cyclical with the times now because of how hip hop exists now in different mediums. Like,
Yeah, I
is
mean,
it better for the artist? Like this is like what you're saying is, it sounds like to me you're saying this is bad for the events, but it's good for the artists because the artists have more control essentially, which is why these events suffer
well,
more.
yeah, I mean, you could do a Dreamville Fest, or you can do Lovers and Friends in Vegas, or you can do, when Drake did the OVO Fest in Toronto, Wayne doing the Wheezy Fest in New Orleans. Like these festivals and these concerts are being now more particularly curated to that person or that decade or that, you know, whatever that is. But that's the beautiful thing. I can go see that what I want to see. I don't have to go to see one artist and be like, all right, well, I saw him and I'm out. I can go to
Okay.
Dreamville, see this, that, and the third. Like even like
Right.
Pusha T. Pusha T's doing the Cousins Festival. He's got Jeezy, he got T Pain, he got Lil Kim, he got him and his brother. You know, he's got a whole bunch of motherfuckers on that stage. When Pharrell did something in the water, I was at the first one. Beautiful, but that's why I keep going back to the whole legacy. You have so much to pick and choose from. That's the beautiful part of hip hop. To me, that's it. And I'm not trying to be
No, no, no.
politically correct, so I don't want nobody
No.
catching these clips and be like, "Ah, low cancer." I'm like, nah, nigga, this is what it is.
Yeah, it's just how we exist now, is what you're saying. It's how we
Yes,
exist.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
It's like if you really fuck with him like that, it's like, well, go catch the flight to go to the festival and see him and go see
Yeah,
this.
go to
Yeah, yeah,
Dreamville Fest and sit in that crowd and wait. Go to Coachella and see T Pain. Look at what T Pain doing. T Pain knocked down Coachella.
Okay, so let me ask you something. You know what I mean? Because we are the same age, you know, and it's funny, like you're talking about your sister is 4 years older. My cousin who kind of showed me hip hop is 4 years older than me. So you and I probably have some of the same education because it's like I tell people, it's like, well, I know
Yes.
Rakim and Slick Rick and all those guys through Cuz, not through me. I was
And
a
I
few
know,
years
I
young.
know, I know, I know, I know Volume One through my sister. I know Lost Boys through my sister. I know
Yeah.
Lords of the Underground through my sister. I know
Yep.
that I discovered everything through my
LONS.
sister. Yeah,
Right.
I discovered a lot through my sister.
Okay, so a lot of people in our age demographic now don't spend money on rap shows. Is that part of what's happened? It's like we don't go to rap shows anymore. Like when you're talking the way that you're talking right now, I can tell at 43 years old that you still love this shit and you still have a passion for it, and that
Hmm.
probably drives you to go to the shows. How many people are like you? How many people are like me? Like when you're bringing up Pusha T. Oh no, I just saw Pusha T when he was at the Roxy down here last time he was down here. It was just him. He rocked by himself for like 2 hours, like nonstop. It was beautiful. I got footage of it and everything. It's great. And as soon as I found out he was here and I had a chance to go see him, it's like, no, I pulled straight up. You know what I'm saying? But most people our age don't think like that anymore, quite frankly. You know what I'm
So,
saying?
all right, but then why is Rock the Bell still doing this show, right? Why is why is Summer Jam still existing? Why is Jeezy doing the TM 101 anniversary still existing? Why when Nas does his shows, they still exist? Why when Wu Tang do their shows, they still exist?
I mean,
Right?
okay, I
Like
think
why? Like but like so like there's a sector for everybody.
okay.
It may not be. And they might like when Drake announces tours, oh it's crazy. When Kendrick announces
Okay,
tours,
so
oh it's crazy. Like
well, hold on. Hold on. What if the problem is that well listen to the guys that you just named. When the last time Jeezy was at Summer Jam? When the last time
he
Nas
don't,
was
but
at
he don't,
Summer
but he
Jam?
don't need, he don't need to be. He don't need to be there. He don't
Right,
need
and
to be
maybe
there. But this is why I
mm,
keep saying like you're doing anniversary shows. Look at Wayne. Wayne is doing the Madison Square Garden on June 6th when he drops the Carter 6th. You're not
yeah.
doing Summer Jam, and Summer Jam is what I think June 20th.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? But Wayne is doing Carter 6 the day his album drops at the mecca of entertainment.
I mean, I was about to say, as far as icon shit goes, it is like if you're a rap legend and
Hmm.
you've been in the game as long as Wayne or Nas or Jeezy has
You're,
been
you're
in.
gonna get that. You're gonna get that.
Well, it's a bigger deal to do the Garden than to do Summer Jam.
Well, because
It's a
he's
bigger
did.
deal,
He's done it.
but it's still a bigger deal. Like at this stage in your career, like doing the Garden, like even at that
Doing
stage.
a garden by yourself is a huge fucking deal. Doing the garden by yourself is a huge. Not Lil Wayne and friends. It's Lil Wayne, Madison Square Garden. Not the theater at Madison Square Garden.
Right.
MSG. You know what I'm saying? Which is like
Yeah.
what I think what 30, 20 between 28 and 31, 32,000.
About to say 28,000,
About
28,000.
20, about 28, 29,000. Yeah,
Right. Right. I
that's
think it's
fire
twenty-eight
as
thousand.
fuck. Yeah, that's fire as fuck.
Yeah, that's a pretty big show. Okay.
That's a big show. And it's the Carter Six.
No,
And
we're gonna
you're already doing festivals in your hometown.
we we're gonna talk about the Carter Six in a
Oh, oh, oh,
few.
oh, we will. Oh, we will.
Yeah.
All
Hold
right,
on. Hold on. How you feel about Wayne? Where you got Wayne all time? Is Wayne top 10 all time?
here we go with this. Here we go with this.
Is
All
he?
right, ask the question again.
Is Lil Wayne top 10 all time? Is he a
Yeah,
top 10
top
MC?
ten, top ten. Yeah, top 10 all time. Yeah,
Okay.
top 10. Yeah, top
Not
five.
top
No.
five though. Right. Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Top 10 is still a beautiful thing.
I,
Let's not
I
get
always
twisted.
tell. Okay, so I always tell people, and I know like that you're a Hove guy. I always tell people it's like, well, if I tell you that like you're the second or third greatest rapper of all time, you understand there are millions of people that have done this. Like you're better than all those people.
LeBron, they look at LeBron as probably the second or third best. Nigga, that ever. That says a lot about what you've done and what you've accomplished, and still being active. Wayne is still active. Ron is still active. Nas is still active. Hov is still active.
Hove is not still active, Low. How is Hove active?
If Hov drop a verse tonight, is he still active? Yes or no? Yes or no? Yes or no?
Yeah, yeah, it's active. It's
Okay.
activated because
All
we
right.
all gonna
Okay.
talk about it.
Oh,
Because we all
okay.
gonna talk about it.
Okay. Okay.
But where the verse? It's not on till it's on though.
Hypothetically, I'm saying we've always gotten a random ass situation where Hov just comes out the sky and gives us a 4 to 5 minute verse, or Nas comes out the sky, just like he's doing with Mass Appeal and DJ Premier. Those things happen.
I would like to hear Jay on that actually, but
I would. Well, I mean, Jay is not connected with Mass Appeal, but I understand what you're saying.
no, I mean on the Preem joint, on the Nas and Preem joint, I'd like
Yeah,
to
yeah,
hear
yeah,
Jay.
yeah. I would love to hear it too. My thing is this: from what I've talked to people close to the circle, and one person told me was like, he don't, he don't like what is he going to talk about? What's there to talk about?
He's
For him,
wealthy.
I'm the first. No, just for hold on, just for him, not just overall. Because even Andre 3000 said like, what am I going to talk about?
No,
Like,
that's
what am I
not the
going to?
same. That's not the
No, no,
same.
no. I'm just in that minuscule comparison. That's all I'm saying. Which is why I think Andre said this. He was like, "Well, what am I going to talk? I feel like I have nothing to talk about."
No,
That's what Andre said. He's like, "I feel like I have nothing to talk about,"
Jay is worked.
which is okay.
Jay, Jay has worked and rhymed in a manner where Jay says, "I have nothing to say." I am completely okay with the conclusion to that story. Andre does not deserve that same gravitas, which is actually where we need to transition to the next topic, which is
Let's
the
do it. Let's do it.
Mount Rushmore of Atlanta rappers, because Andre finds himself on this Mount Rushmore.
My
Big Boy,
biggest thing, my biggest thing about Andre, not to cut you off, my biggest thing about Andre 3000 is he does not have a solo body of work compared
not
to the
one.
guys. I mean, he does. Technically, he does. You know,
No.
the Love Below, like he does. Like, hold on, just let me get my shit off. He does have a body of work that's solo. The Love Below, yes, he does. But when we look at that Mount Rushmore, it was Jeezy, or no, Jeezy wasn't on it. It was Future, Tip, and him. Future, Tip, oh, and Gucci. I'm sorry, Future, Tip, and Gucci. They have more than I think what 10, just a piece.
Yeah.
My thing with Andre was it wasn't like no, this nigga's not. I'm not saying he's not good enough. I'm not saying he's not capable. I can't I can't measure my observation of song wise, lyrical ability, this and the third, solo wise, the solo structure against them because you were in a group, one of the best, greatest groups of all time, right? If you put them together, if you put Outkast and then had the whole round, I'm like, yes, yep, that makes sense.
Correct.
But
Correct.
I'm like, Andre doesn't have a solo body of work to even measure up or even to judge against those other three.
Okay, so here's where
That
I
was
am
my
with.
only caveat. That's my only caveat with that.
Well, that's a pretty big caveat, Lo. Because here's my thing.
Does he have it?
So we're talking, of course not. So here,
Okay.
so look at 101. You're talking about Jeezy in 101. Look at what Jeezy's
Yes.
doing with 101 right now. Now, I love Jeezy, like Low. Trapper
Watch your
died
words.
too.
Watch
No,
your
no, no,
words.
no, no,
Watch your
no. I
words.
love Jeezy.
Watch your words.
I love Jeezy. Trapper died too is like one of my favorite albums to ever come out of this city. Like I literally
Wait.
have been
Trapper
playing.
died one or Trapper died two?
I love one, but two is my shit. One is the
Okay.
shit, but two is my shit. I think they're
Okay.
both classics.
Okay.
I look at music sometimes. It's about what you're going through when you're going through it.
Absolutely.
Trapper Die 2 got me through what I was going through when I was going
Can't
through it.
dispute that. Can't dispute that.
Yeah. And so like right. So it's like I wasn't doing what I was doing and going through what I was going through when one was coming out,
Can't
even though
dispute
I
that.
loved one.
Can't
Right.
dispute that.
Right. Oh, I ain't no fucking fool. Andre is 10 times the rapper that Jeezy is on the microphone. But Jeezy deserves to be on that Mount Rushmore more than Andre does because Jeezy has
That's
101.
what I
Jeezy got
said.
101.
That's what
Hold on.
I
Yeah,
said.
yeah. Jeezy got 101. Jeezy got
He got
103. Jeezy got
102.
Trapper Die 1. Jeezy got Trapper Die 2.
He got the
Jeezy
recession. He
got The
got seeing it
Recession.
all. He got the mixtape.
Right.
This does not dismiss the lyrical ability that Andre 3000 has contributed to the game and the world of hip
No,
hop. That is
he's
not what I'm saying.
you know who he is?
Uh oh.
He's Randy Moss like when you look at him, but he doesn't have Randy Moss's numbers. It's like, well, if you walk onto a field
Randy
and you
Moss
needed
got
a
what?
pick,
Randy Moss got a Super Bowl, right?
no,
Oh,
but
now I
he's
see why.
second all time in touchdowns.
Now I see why you say
But,
that. Okay.
but what I'm saying is that he's the guy that it's like, well, if you just look at the talent and
The talent's
like,
there.
but he don't have no numbers that reflect the talent. Like there is
And
no
you know, and that's
celebration.
but see that, and that's fine.
All his celebration are group celebrations.
And that's fine because we know Andre can rap. We know that. Anybody with two ears that loves hip hop knows that Andre 3000 is one of the great spitters. We know that. But when it comes to saying, hey, let's go body for body, we can't do that.
Okay, so
We just can't do that.
so with that being said, no, we're on the same page. So I have 15 rappers listed from Atlanta, and I'm just gonna ask you convo or hell no, because I don't feel like the Mount Rushmore is right. And I almost feel like Jeezy needs to be on here and Big Boy needs to be on here if there's gonna be a solo member for Outkast. Like for me, it's like you put Outkast on here or you put Big Boy on here, but you don't put Andre on here.
Okay.
Okay, Ludacris.
I think he deserves a spot.
So Ludacris will be on yours.
Do you want my Mount Rushmore of Atlanta rappers?
I do.
All right, so I'm gonna go with Jeezy, Tip,
Jeezy.
Tip, Future, Jeezy, Tip, Future. Oh man, it's a hard fight between Luda and Gucci.
Mm.
It's a hard fight between Luda and Gucci, and I'm not mad at either one.
So there's going to be no Dungeon family on here except for Future, who's second generation Dungeon family. So no CeeLo, no
No.
Andre, no Big Boy. Because those might be the three best
If
MCs that
somebody if
came out of
somebody
the
if
city.
somebody put Big Boy on there, yeah.
Like,
CeeLo not
but
for
hold
me.
on.
CeeLo not for me. CeeLo not for me. But if somebody did, I can't get mad at that. I understand it. But for me, no.
Hold on. Okay, let me ask you something. Lyrically speaking, who do you think are the four best MCs that come out of this city as far as MCing go?
Out of Atlanta,
Yeah,
lyrically,
if we just talking the MC, like you know what I'm saying? When you talking about the
just
MC, like when
MC,
you
just MCing.
yeah, like when you listen to the guy, you like, oh, that nigga can, oh, he can.
Is this just Atlanta?
Just Atlanta.
Lyrically, I'm going Luda. Lyrically, Luda, Andre and Big Boy. Luda, Andre, Big Boy. and Killer Mike.
See, okay, I would get with you. I would put CeeLo in there, and I would probably either take Mike or Luda out. But that's what I'm saying. It's just like, well, the four best lyricists in the city, like the four best like MCs in the city, and you're telling me only one of them's gonna make the Mount Rushmore that you're giving me, which would be Luda right now, because you got Luda, Tip, and Jeezy.
No, they right there. Yeah, I'm on the phone. But like, yo, they're it's cool. Like, this is why I hate doing this shit, and I hate that you have me doing this, motherfucker. I hate that you have me doing this because all this shit is subjective, right?
Right.
My answer is not right or wrong. Coop, your answer is not right or wrong.
So, so,
Whoever
so
sees
hold on.
this, whoever's watching this, whoever's gonna see this, between this and
So
you,
you got Luda, Tip, Jeezy, Killer Mike. That's yours.
lyrically, yes.
Okay, but overall, you got Luda, Tip, Jeezy, and who's your fourth? Like just overall, Future,
Luda,
Luda, Tip,
Tip,
Jeezy, Future.
Future or Gucci. It either one.
I'd have to give it to Future, and I'm from the East
That's
Side.
fine. That's fine. That's fine.
Yeah,
That's
I
fine.
I would tell you
That's
that
fine.
Ti is the best MC to ever come out of this city overall, top to bottom, in my opinion. And
I
so,
can't get mad at that. And honestly, I wouldn't look at you like, what the fuck? I'd be like, okay, I can see it. I'm like, oh yeah, that makes sense.
but
Like, that
but
makes sense.
but I tell you this, I'm more partial to Jeezy, and so Jeezy would be on my list. So I would take Ti and Jeezy, but then
Nigga,
after that,
that's why niggas was on my head. I said, yo, but they when that original like when that first started, the whole Mount Rushmore shit, I was like, bye bye, Andre 3000. Nigga, my DMs, texts,
no, I can't.
no,
I
no,
can't do it.
I'm just telling you, like this is what niggas was on me
You know
about.
who he is? He what's his name? He Leon from Above the Rim. It's like nigga, like everybody know who
So
you is, but like
here's so because no, because now niggas gonna start.
it's
This is
true
why,
though.
yo, Coop. This is why I don't like doing this shit. Because
It's true.
they see and hear these shit, and they see me laughing. You say something crazy, and they see me laughing. They be like, yo, see this? I had a nigga tell me the other day, like, yo, you ain't how you speaking on hip hop. I'm like, nigga, I'm 15 years in grade. Like, come on, this is just my opinion. None of this shit is real. None of this shit is facts. We talk about what
Right.
we like and we love, and that's
I mean, it's an inexact science. There's not a
if we saying
definitive.
if we saying who sold more, if we're saying who had more. I mean, the only black and white caveat with any of these conversations is who sold more. That's it. Not who had more impact, not who had more influence, not who. So like, if there's no numbers involved, the conversation is just back and forth. It's a tennis game. That's it.
I would tell you this. I would have to take Tip. I would take Jeezy.
Hmm.
I'm gonna take Big Boy,
Okay.
and I'm gonna have to take Future too, because it's just hard to ignore what Future's done.
Okay. And again, when you say those names and you see what they've done and you see how the influence, impact, contributions, this that, if you when you see it, you're like, oh, okay, I get that. I may not agree, but I'm like, yeah, I get why he said that, or I get why she said that. All right, cool. I ain't about to argue with you. I'm like, yeah, I get it. I wouldn't have, but yeah, I get that.
Mm.
That's just it. Like that's the best I can give you.
Somebody's definitely upset out there.
Yeah.
So look, we're gonna slide to the next topic.
All right.
You know, B Dot recently spoke on some of his issues or some of the ongoings that he and Elliot had,
Oh
which kind of
boy.
left us asking the question: why do podcasts sometimes not seem to succeed? Like, do podcasters and people in the media space and the writers and I mean, quite frankly, for low people that do what you do on your level and people that do what I do, like, why do podcasts fail? Like, why do they have short shelf lives?
Okay, so before we get to the whole beat on Elliot, what do you mean? Give me examples of the failing and the shelf life. Like, give me, because I mean, we saw the whole Joe, Rory, and Maul thing, which is a personal thing, right? So
Yeah.
I'm not gonna really speak on that.
I
It
mean, see,
seems like,
okay, maybe
it seems like the beat on and Elliot thing also was a personal thing, so I can't speak on that either.
maybe failure is the wrong word. Why does it seem like the peak of these shows is brief and there always seems to be some sort of break and or split? I can even speak to that a little bit personally, but I would like to know, like, from where you sit, how that looks to you. Because even some people would tell you, like, we tell people all the time, I feel like Joe Budden is kind of like an author, a founder in this space in a lot of ways. But a lot of people don't enjoy his show as much now that Rory and Mal aren't with him, you know?
I can't say they don't enjoy his show as much because I see, yeah, every time they drop, I see conversations, I see spaces, I see Instagram this and clips and this. That. There's an interest, not interest, there is a um, interest level. You know, Joe has very well captivated an audience based off of his experience, based off of
Mm-hmm.
uh, his intricate way of articulating his opinion and his point and against people that are in his, you know, or on his couches or, you know, on his team, and that draws viewers, that draws listeners, that draws viewership, that draws sponsorship, that draws dollars. And I
Right.
think Joe is a very king of chaos,
King
and
of Chaos.
Joe is very good at creating chaos. And in this space of media curation, that's what's needed, and that helps. That sells. A train wreck sells. I'm not saying Joe's a train wreck, but Joe happens to be
He's the best at
always
orchestrating the train wreck.
yes,
Yes.
and that
Yes.
works for him. So if you're not interested in that aspect of media, or if you're not interested in that aspect of consuming your information or your headlines or your news or your opinions, then you stay away from that. But Joe knows how to do that. And if you know Joe from his music days to now, this ain't nothing new. You understand what I'm saying? Like, this is nothing like what Joe is doing on this podcast, he's done in his music. So when I listen and I see and I hear, and I'm like, okay, I've seen this before, I've heard this before, I understand what he's doing. That's just what now it's entertainment. And that's what the business of podcast is. You're entertaining people.
Right.
I don't care who it is. It could be, you know, as much as I hate these, you know, Adam 22 and the academics and the Vlad, they entertain, and that draws numbers. Why do you think traffic slows down whenever there's an accident? Because they want to see what the fuck happened.
Every time.
Every fucking time, traffic would move
Every time.
so smooth if they would just mind their fucking business.
Right. If people just mind their business.
If they would mind their business, but those guys know that niggas aren't minding their business. Adam 22 knows niggas ain't minding their business. Vlad knows they not minding their business. Academics knows they not minding their business, and Joe knows they not minding their business. And
So
there's
is
an
Joe
audience. There's always an audience for that.
I find it fascinating that you jumble Joe with those guys because I don't.
No, I'm not. Now, hold on. I'm not saying Joe is doing what they do.
Okay.
Not at all.
Okay.
Because Joe has a lot more experience
And credibility in my
and
opinion.
credibility than they do. But
Okay.
Joe understands the mechanism and the method of chaos.
What you're saying, he does what they does, but he does it in a credible manner.
Exactly. Some agree, some don't. I may agree, I don't. Like, even with Rory and Maul, they create chaos in a fun way.
Yeah.
It's fun, but they're legit saying like, nah, this is how I feel, this is what it is. but they're not doing things to create chaos to benefit them and their platform. This is how they feel, and this is what they do. I know
Right.
Joe. I know Joe understands the mechanism of entertainment, and I know you can see it, and that's fine. This is also called the music business, the
Business.
entertainment business.
Okay, so let's get to the Elliot and B Dot thing because B Dot was essentially saying this is like, well, me and him, we really ain't cool like that. And then,
Okay, and maybe that's none of our business.
well, he made it our business. I didn't
Okay,
know
and even when that happened, when and
he
B
made it
Dot is
our
my
business.
and B Dot is my man. I love B Dot. Elliot loves Elliot.
Mm,
And Joe even said it. He was like, "Man, I don't like this, this, and the third." And I'm like, I get that, I understand that. But I look at it like maybe they should have had that conversation before Joe called Elliot and before it had to be that. I just
well, I mean,
I just didn't like how it played out.
you didn't like the motion, but what I'm saying is that, well, is there something about the characters that's problematic?
I don't know their characters between the two of them. I know B Dot, real nigga, down to earth. He is who he is online and offline.
Right.
Elliot is who he is online and offline. It is that's just who they are. B Dot stands on his point, he stands on his opinion. Same with Elliot. Do I feel
Well,
like
I
Elliot?
think
But
Well, I think what B Dot was speaking to is the fact that, well, it's like he's like, well, that ain't the Elliot that I know.
and that can be true. I don't know Elliot the way B Dot know Elliot, right? The same way you don't know Ebro the way I know Ebro.
Well, I was gonna ask you. It's like, well, we're on a show. This is my third podcast. My second podcast that I started, I'm still active with, but the first podcast that I started, I'm no longer with. And to be honest with you, I look back on it and it was like mostly about ego and money. And so for somebody to,
That's the world. That's sports. That's politics. That's entertainment. That's everything, bro. That's not just hip hop and music. That's everything. Money can get in the middle of shit. Ego can get in the middle of shit. Oh, nah, you getting too much notoriety. Oh, nah, I want the same equal split that you get. It happens. And I'm not saying I know what the issue was between Elliot and Vita. I don't know. I know as much as you know.
mm,
I don't know. And I'm not gonna hit these niggas and ask, well, yo, Elliot, yo, what happened when you and Vita? Yo, Vita, why you said that? Nigga, that ain't my business. I don't got nothing to do with that.
let me ask you
I,
something, Lo.
yeah.
What do you think about the notion that podcasts started post pandemic aren't as successful as podcasts started pre pandemic or during the pandemic?
Who loves it and who doesn't? Who loves it for the culture? Who loves it for the conversation? Who loves it for what it is? Or who loves it for notoriety? Who loves it for fame? Who loves it for clout?
Mm.
Who loves it? Who? You tell me.
I don't know anymore. When I talk to people, they say that,
It's
that
confusing.
pod.
It's confusing as fuck now.
Right, that's how I feel because I feel like now we exist in this world where it's like where people are like, well, some people tell me podcasts are like a pandemic thing, and that podcasts that start post pandemic, it's harder to gain traction
Nah,
and people's attention.
podcast ain't no pandemic thing. Niggas is getting millions. Niggas is feeding their families. Niggas is creating other businesses and entities. The Rory and Malls and the Weezies and Mandy's and Scotty Beam and
Scotty Beam.
yeah, Scotty Beam. You look at Speedy. You look at those that whole entity over there. There's a lot of motherfuckers that have sustained traction.
So you think
You
this
know,
space is still like open and viable, is what you're saying?
yes, yes.
Okay,
You gotta be fucking different. Niggas
got
ain't
to stand
different.
out. Yeah, you got to
Niggas
stand
ain't
out.
different. Niggas ain't different. I'm sorry.
Okay, let's talk
Even,
about
even,
two.
even, 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 and not to cut you off. Even,
No, go
when
ahead.
my podcast was Say Less, with Kaz and Rosie. Nigga, Cash started that shit by himself in the pandemic. He brought me on and brought Rosie on. Look where that shit has taken that nigga. 7 p.m. in Brooklyn.
Right.
Pivotal figure in Wale Mania, WrestleMania, just the wrestling world, in addition to the sports contributions, in addition to the music contributions.
Yeah,
Where,
we're
where's your
actually
where's
going.
your where's your longevity and legacy? That's I mean, he's one of the main ones that has done that shit. So shout out to my nigga Cash.
That's what's up. We're gonna talk about two guys with some different styles but similar names. Lil Wayne and Lil Baby are both dropping soon. Lil Baby is supposed.
Dominique and Carter Six.
Yeah, Dominique and Carter 6. I think Baby's supposed to drop May 2nd, and you already spoke to Wayne is dropping June
Yeah,
6th
Wayne dropped June 6th.
with the Carter 6. First of all, I think the Carter 6 is probably the longest running rap series at this point, right? Has anybody made a series of 6 rap albums? No.
No, I mean, Nas did King Disease, but that was three. Or was
That's
it?
only three. That's 3 and 3. He did 3 and 3.
Yeah. So I mean, technically it's a six.
Nah, that's two separate entities though. That's two
Okay, all right,
separate
no, no,
series.
no, I'm not just asking, just asking.
Yeah. No, Magic is a series. KD is a
Yes,
series.
yes, you're right. My fault. Yes, you're right.
Right. But what my question for you is, what are you more excited to actually hear in 2025? Like are you more excited about a Lil Baby album or a Lil Wayne album?
Neither.
Oh shit.
I'm excited. I'm excited to hear the clips, Cole, and Wale.
Is Cole's dropping still?
I would hope so.
I mean, it's been a year and some change of
Yeah, I
waiting.
mean, gotta let him get through his shit and figure out and create and this that, and the third.
No,
But
no, I don't know. I don't know, Lo. Actually, I
I'm
don't
I'm
know.
I'm talking from my personal perspective. Coop. See, here you go again with this shit. That's why I don't be doing these things. Cause y'all be trying to put words in my mouth. It's like, nah, I said that. Nah, but no, but like all jokes aside, I think Lil Baby
No.
does have. I think Lil Baby does have a space of people that he has a fan base, he has a sector of people that want to hear what Dominique is going to sound like, and I think the hardcore Wayne fans want to see if he still has it, because we know verse wise he still has it. I mean, we know he's still that guy verse wise. He can give us a verse whatever this is. And when he put out that Rolling Stone story, I think like 2 weeks ago, we saw the features. It was like uh, Wyclef Jean, I think Ronald from Me Too, Billie Eilish. But then an interview with Turk had came out, and they were like, "Yo, there's potential that they're going to be featured from the Hot Ones." So when I saw that clip, I was like, "Oh, I'm kind of more interested now." I didn't give a fuck about those other features.
Okay, so here's my thing.
Yes.
Neither one of these guys have made a good rap album in a long time. I think
To you.
to me,
Okay.
like good, has in above average, has in
Okay.
for what their standard is. I do feel like Wayne has been arguably the best guest rapper of the last 5 years. Easy.
I would not disagree with you.
It it did not
I would not I
translate
would
the
not
last.
I would not disagree with you. Which
No,
is
the
why I said
verses.
but which is why I said to you, I'm interested to see if he can do it body of work wise.
Right, because the last body of work, well, he didn't do it. And so I'm more excited to hear Wayne to see if
But
what the to
it,
see
it's got us intrigued because he's calling it the Carter Six. Just like if Jay were
that's
to come out
okay.
with
So
if Jay were to come out with an album called Jay did what? Volume 1, Volume 2, Volume 3. If he would have come out with an album called Volume 4, he'd be like, all right, what's up?
okay, so this is my
Yes or
problem.
no?
My problem with the Carter calling it the Carter 6 is the Carter 5. Because you did this on the Carter 5 and the Carter 5 really
But you're still gonna listen, right?
it's Wayne.
I mean, that's my point. That's my whole point.
Wayne's a legend. Of course I gotta
So he
listen.
knows. So he knows. If he called it something else, you might be like, I'm good. But if he
Right.
called it the Carter Six,
I
I
have to
got it.
listen to the Carter
That's
6.
my point. That's why I said if Jay had an album, he dropped the album now and called it Volume 4.
Oh,
Oh,
I'm there.
I got.
I'm
Just like,
there.
just like, just like when Jeezy dropped the Recession 2, I'm like, oh, I got what? Oh, I got it. Yes, and it didn't live
Oh,
up.
that's what I mean. No, that's what I
Yeah,
mean.
we're on the
103
same.
Trapper
We're on the
Dot
same.
2.
We're on the same page.
benevolent Elon Musk.
Okay, so you're not looking forward to Lil Baby at all. Is
I'm
he the
not
most?
the I'm not the biggest Little Baby fan.
Is he overrated?
No, I wouldn't say he's overrated. He's just not my priority in regards to if he's announcing if he's saying an album comes out tonight, I'm not rushing to it.
Who's gonna make the better album?
That's a very difficult and hard question because you're talking about a nigga that came out in 1999 and then as opposed to a nigga that came out in 2010,
10 might be being nice.
8.
No, I mean shit. I thought it was 11, 12.
All right, that's what I'm saying. So it's like I'm a nigga that loves 90s hip hop and early 2000s. So yeah, I'm jumping to the Wayne shit. Don't mean
Right.
Lil Baby shit not gonna be tough. I'm just jumping to Wayne shit.
Is that ageism?
Yes, absolutely,
Oh, okay.
absolutely. Nigga, Stevie Wonder can see that. The fuck are we talking about? Yes, it's ageism, nigga. What? The fuck are you talking about? You know the answer to that. Nigga, of course.
No, I mean that's not. That's. I mean, I'll tell you the truth.
No, I
There
get
are
what you're
some.
saying, but I know I get what you're saying, but yeah, it definitely is ageism. Yeah.
Right, like you're like if I'm picking between two comparable artists, I'm picking the nigga
I'm
from
going.
last.
Yes, I'm going to Wayne. Yes, I'm going to
Right.
Carter.
No, I'm going to Wayne too, but I'm going to Wayne more for what he's done rap wise the last 5 years because I feel like rap wise the last 5 years he's been better than Baby because hey Lo, I'll tell you the truth. Outside of the Carter 2, I'm not a big fan of Wayne the album maker.
That's still ageism because when did the Carter 2 come out?
Oh, it's 2005.
That's ageism.
Yeah.
Baby
No,
wasn't
he's
even a
got me.
thought. Baby
No, he's
wasn't
got
even a
me.
thought. That's
He
what I'm
need to
saying.
be doing the 20th
That's-
anniversary for the Carter 2.
Right. It goes back to the legacy shit.
Right. That goes back to the buy-in. Right.
Yeah, there you go.
Right. Okay. We're gonna go to the next thing, which is actually your thing. So we
Yeah.
got the low blog era tour wish list. Now tell me what the fuck this is.
What do you all right, what do you ask?
I'm asking you what your blog era tour wish list is.
Oh, my blog ever tour wish list probably would be if I could have my way.
Yep.
Endless budget, right?
Endless.
Drake, Dot, Cole, Wiz, Wale, Sean.
Hold on. How many days are we doing this? Is this one night?
Hold on, you gonna ask me a question? Or you gonna ask me a question?
Keep going.
What the fuck are we doing?
I'm wondering.
No. It's a little tips.
Are we doing a festival? Are we doing spot days? What are we doing?
How about this? You want to know what?
Tell me.
Weekend festival. Weekend festival. We got Friday, Saturday, Sunday on lock.
Oh, okay, I like that.
We got Friday, Saturday, Sunday on lock. Yeah.
Let me see.
Tell
Friday.
me who your headliner, and you got to pick a headliner for all 3 days.
Oh, okay. So I'll do my headliner for Friday. I'll do Wale my headliner for Friday. I do Wiz my headliner for Saturday. And then I probably do Cole. I do Cole and Drake Sunday.
How are you going to do that? I'd love to hear that
You said
shit.
endless. You said endless. You said endless. Don't cut me off. You said endless. And then Kendrick on Monday. You said endless budget.
So you were putting Kendrick in pole position. Cole and Drake got to do Sunday, and Kendrick's. So Kendrick's the closer.
I mean, hey, they clicking up. They clicking up, right?
Okay. So.
I'm petty.
No. I dig it. So you said Wale
I mean,
on Friday.
it could. I mean, like honestly, like not trying to be funny. It could be. It could go either.
No. I think that
intertwine.
I actually think that's an appropriate build up. You get your hip hop heads and your hoteps with Wale on Friday.
No, first of all, ain't no hotel. Wale gonna tear that shit down. That's a nigga. Friday night, Wale gonna tear that shit down.
Wale gonna tear that shit down.
Friday night, Wale gonna tear that shit through the fucking roof. Like,
I might have to sub Wale out for somebody.
Don't you do that.
We might have to sub Wale out.
I mean, Wale and Sean could. Oh, Meek got to be in there somewhere too.
Who?
Meek.
I would think that. How about this? I would think Friday would be a Wale Meek thing. Like actually, Friday. Like when you said Wale on Friday,
Well,
I'm thinking, well,
I would say
well, go
I
ahead
would
and
look
give
at
me Ross and Meek too.
Ross not a blog era dude, bro. Ross kicked off in 2006, like with a bang, with a album, with a
Uh,
smash.
yeah.
Like, so I ain't
Okay.
putting Ross in there.
What about
I,
Cuddy?
I, I
Cuddy?
Cuddy could do a Sunday joint,
Okay.
Sunday vibes, mushrooms, you know,
Mushrooms.
smoking weed through the fucking atmosphere. Sunday is perfect for Cuddy.
Cuddy?
Yeah,
Okay.
he killed that shit.
Any groups? No groups?
Cool Kids, Pac Div, Fly Union,
Fine.
um, who else? Groups. Oh, Kids in the Hall. Uh,
Yo, Lo, do you
shit.
fuck with Baldy? You fuck with Baldy?
Yes, Boldy. Yep. Stolly, Mickey Fax, Asher
Dolly Mickey.
Roth, Chevy Woods, um, XV.
Uh,
Yo,
what?
I have a list. I have a fucking nigga. I have a list.
So why don't you put a festival together?
I'll say this. Shout out to my man Will from Taylor Gang. That's all I'll say.
Okay, say less. Say
That's
less.
all.
We not.
Shout out to
Okay.
my guy from Will from Taylor Gang. That's all.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah,
We've
oh
already.
yeah, okay.
Okay.
Yo,
Yeah.
I got hold on. I got 10 minutes left because my man's inside. You know.
No. That's good. All we need is
Yo,
10 minutes
you
left.
got enough out of me. Yeah. Niggas they gonna kill my ass.
I'm
Coop,
doing what I can.
Coop, I'm gonna fuck your ass up. As soon as we get off this shit, I'm gonna fuck
Right.
your ass up. I'm gonna fuck your ass up, Coop.
Look. When you come to Atlanta next time, it's not just on JD. It's on me too.
Coop,
It's
I'm
on
gonna
me
fuck
too.
your
It's on me
ass
too.
up.
They gonna be
You
like,
son of a,
because
you
I already know
son
how
of
it's
a
gonna be. They
bitch.
be like, yo,
You
we heard
son
you
of a
talking to that
bitch.
nigga Coop. I already
Fuck
know.
you, nigga.
Already know. They gonna be like, we heard you talking to that nigga Coop.
Yeah,
Yo, you fucking wild. Yeah. I already
Yeah.
know how it's gonna go.
I'm gonna
So,
fuck your ass up, Coop.
so look, we got one more
Yeah.
thing before we go, and
Talk to me.
this is something that I love to talk about.
Yeah.
So hip hop and wrestling has always had a special relationship. I feel like.
Hmm?
When do you feel like that relationship started, and who do you think has expressed it the best? Because I feel like Wu Tang has made the references. There's Griselda. There's Pusha T. Where hip hop and wrestling? Where do those worlds collide?
Yo, listen, Coop, I'm not even gonna hold you. I'm not gonna hold you like I act like I know or I understand where the worlds collide. Just even watching like the whole WrestleMania shit in Vegas this weekend, um, and watching Taz, be so enthusiastic about it and how they embraced him and how much he knows about wrestling and how much he tried to teach me, but I'm just so ignorant. I'm like, I don't give a fuck on no fucking wrestling, but that's where my worlds collide. Like Taz taught me a lot about that shit.
So
And I know the world. I know that world and that entity respects him. Like look at Wale Mania in Vegas. Like
I'll tell you this.
that's just my introduction to it. I'm not saying that's where it started. That's my introduction.
No, you want to know what? When I'm not even gonna front. This is not even my topic. Taj actually shot me this topic.
Okay.
But when she shot it to me, I'm from Charlotte originally. My family is from Low Country, South Carolina, from Charlotte. The first thing that I thought about, I was like, well, Ric Flair embodies hip hop. Ric Flair embodies hip hop more than maybe any wrestler in history. And it's somebody that like grew up in Charlotte, like he's a legend. And so I think when I see Ric Flair and I hear Ric Flair, there's a part of him that embodies hip hop. So I couldn't think of when the worlds collided,
Yeah,
other than like
I legit do not know. But you hear
no,
it.
I just
Like
feel
you said,
like
like you said, like Pusha, you hear it through him, and you hear it through Wale,
yeah,
like you hear it
like
through like Zelda.
well, I feel like those guys are wrestling fans. I feel like the question is more geared towards like a culture piece, and for me, Ric Flair is that culture piece because I feel like in a lot of ways, Ric Flair is a rapper, and that's why so many rappers like him because he talks shit the way
Yeah,
a
I mean,
rapper does.
I mean, you look at even Amigos. I mean, I think it's Offset or Quavo or whatever. Like they had the Ric Flair drip.
Ric Flair drip, right?
Yeah, but
Yeah.
again, I never speak to something I have little knowledge of, but
So
I
let me ask you
know and I
something. So you
see
were
it.
never so you were never into wrestling?
No, never. It was basketball. It was video games, and that was it. Like I never watched WWF. I knew about Hulk Hogan and
Yeah, everybody knows.
Macho Man Randy Savage. I knew the figures, but it just wasn't my thing. And
Right.
people that in wrestling always get the bad rep, like how you this old watching wrestling and this, that, and the third. I'm like, nigga, if you really think about this shit, nigga, hip hop is just like that. Hip hop is
You
just like that. It's a
Knicks
stage
fan?
set. Huh?
You a Knicks fan?
You want to go there?
Yeah. You missed it. You missed it.
Am I
You missed
am I a
your
Knicks fan?
Yeah, are you a Knicks fan?
I'm not a Knicks fan, but my father, because growing up I was a Bulls fan.
I don't
But
know how that happened.
yeah, I just love Michael Jordan. Shout out to the great. Um,
Okay.
but
Go.
my father watched Patrick Ewing, Allen Houston, Charles Oakley, Charles Smith, Anthony Mason, John Starks, Charlie Ward. Like this, the list goes on and on and on. But I saw my father go through so much heartache and pain watching the Knicks lose year after year after year. So it fucked the Knicks for life because they gave my father strokes,
Oh.
heart attacks, all that shit. But New York is the heart. The Knicks are the heart of the city. And they're playing Detroit right now, and hopefully they make it out that series. And my man, like again, keep mentioning my man Kaz. Kaz is a diehard Knicks fan. But the Knicks are just the pulse. It's like the Yankees are the pulse of the city. The Knicks are the pulse of the city. So respect is due. But outside of that, see now my man came out here and brought me a shot. See now he leaving like
Well,
oh,
well, we don't have
all right,
we don't have
cool.
too much more to cover. Do you have any parting shots or words or anything you'd like to share before we get up out of here tonight, Lo? I
Fine,
do
fine.
appreciate you. I appreciate you pulling up though, fam. I do. You didn't have to like pull up and
Listen.
help like fill the gap. So like I
Nah, no,
appreciate you.
listen. I told her I was like, I'll be there. Listen, Tupac doesn't have a classic album. I'll see y'all niggas next week.
Yo, that is
Nope, nope,
wild.
nope, no.
No.
I'll see
I
y'all
got you
niggas
for
next
5
week.
more minutes. I need you for 5 more minutes.
Hold on, all right, let me take a shot with my man. Ray.
Take the shot. You are not going away like that. You are not going away like that.
Give me 2
Some
minutes.
New York shit.
All right, you got 3 minutes. Go.
There's no way that an album that has Death Around the Corner, So
Hold on.
Many
Okay.
Tears,
I'll say this.
Me Against the World. Yeah, I'm
I'll
not
say
even
this.
going to do the All Eyes on
I'll
Me thing.
say
Let's
that.
do the Me Against the World thing.
Coop. I'll say this. If I had a gun in my head, all eyes on me. Yes.
How about this? Hold on. No. Fuck all that. Hold on.
Why you gotta take your glass? What we doing?
Hold on. All
Because
Eyes on Me, book one's not a classic?
when niggas take their glasses off, we have to get to it.
No, because not one classic. You don't think All Eyes on Me, book one's a classic? The first, the first disc. The first disc not a classic?
To me, it's not. When we're talking about classic, just hear me out, Coop. All right, let me ask you this: is Volume 1 a classic? Hold on. Is Jay-Z Volume 1 a classic?
Yes. And I'm gonna tell you exactly
Okay.
why. Because there's only 4 bad songs on that album, and for 9 other songs, he is
There's
stellar.
2. Wait. On Volume 1,
Yeah.
there's 2 bad songs on that album.
No. Hold on. City Is Mine.
No, City is Mine is not a bad. It's not a bad.
How about this? It's not bad. It's not up to his
Sunshine
standard.
and What Girls Like are bad songs.
Okay, What Girls Like is bad.
And Sunshine is bad because of the video.
If
there was no video, that'd have been fine.
No, you can keep the beat. You can keep the beat to Sunshine too. You can keep that beat.
If the video did not exist, we would not have this conversation. We would not be having this conversation, and you know that too. So stop. That video was wacky as fuck.
City Is Mine. Okay.
City Is Mine is fine because that second verse was dedicated to Big.
The first, we all know who the verse. Okay, I know what Girls Like is terrible. Lucky Me is just okay. Is Lucky Me just average? Lucky Me is just average.
It's good.
It's okay.
Okay,
It's a classic to me. I think it's his best mic performance. I think it's his
that's what
best
I said
mic
too.
performance.
That's what I said too.
Yeah, Volume One's his best mic performance to me. So
Yeah,
yes,
I
it's a
agree.
classic.
I agree. I agree. I agree. On the next episode, we'll talk about why I don't feel like Tupac has any classic albums.
Okay,
It
all
does not.
right,
It
got it,
does
got
not.
it.
It does not mean. It does not mean those albums aren't good. It does not mean that. It just means I don't think they're classic to me. And with that said,
We don't have time. Oh my god.
yeah,
Oh my
yeah, I
god.
know. Oh yeah, put
Appreciate
the
you.
hat back on.
Yep, yep, yep.
And the Giants fucked up on the draft pick. God damn it.
They didn't. Hold on. They didn't fuck up.
No, they got one of the who they somebody defensive pick.
Yeah, they got Carter.
Again, we'll talk episode 2.
We'll talk about that the next time too. Okay. Yep. Appreciate
Coop,
you,
man,
fam.
yo, Coop, love you, brother.
Appreciate you, man. Love.
I'll see you soon.
Yep. Like, share, subscribe, everybody. Appreciate y'all for coming out tonight. This has been Hip Hop Talks. AG will be back next week. We'll see what happens with Sean. Y'all continue to say prayers for him and his family. This has been another edition of Hip Hop Talks. This is Coop signing off. Appreciate y'all for coming out tonight.